All right, back to football, where the conversation really has been about Mac Jones, and people wonder, like, is he broken? Is he fractured? Or what is going on? Because everybody can agree that the offensive play calling is horrible. There is kind of this mystery of like, okay, this horrible play calling tends to look good when the backup is in there. And what's that about? And then there's this defense of Mac saying, well, Mac is clearly a better quarterback than Bailey Zappi. And you would say, yeah, in a neutral situation, this just isn't neutral. Here's Tommy Curran on NBC Sports Boston talking about the uncertainty that you see going on with Mac.
The reason Mac Jones put Cam Newton's job in peril immediately was because of his ability to stand with his feet flat, process, and deliver with accuracy and poise in the first days of training camp. That guy is gone. I don't know when he's coming back, but he's so squirrely and so apprehensive and so unsure and untrusting of the play call, of the protection, of really anything, that it is going to take weeks at the very least to dig out, Phil.
You know what it feels like if you ever watch the show Family Matters with Erkel, and Erkel will do something, you go, did I do that? That's how it feels like when you see Mac Jones out there when he throws a bad pass or like the one that hit who was it? Was it Jacoby Myers in his ankles wide open? He goes, did I do that?
I think that was Tyquan. He had that one.
Tyquan Thornton, right? Yes, that one. Because at the end of the day, because of the bad offensive play, really none of the receivers stand out. It's not like you're like, yo, there goes number 11, the Welker version. I mean, the Edelman version, or there goes 81, or even there goes Troy Brown, Even when Brandon Cooks was here, you're like, there's the deep threat. There's Brandon. Now it's kind of like, all right, when's Jacoby Myers going to catch a ball like across the middle for a first down? At least keep something going.
Did I do that?
That's squirrely. That's a great word from Tom E. Curran. Squirrely. That whole uncertainty. And he's absolutely right. When he came in and Cam Newton, who already was, now that's broken physically. The arm was dangling. The spirits were high. He was great interviews. He was giving nicknames to the people on the Greg Hill show. It was all a really feel-good moment, all to guys, a player whose skill set had truly diminished poorly. Now, I thought it was good. You might be able to get 4 or 5 games off of those tires from Cam Newton to be able to compete, maybe even run a couple of touchdowns in when you're still figuring out how the offense is going to be installed, and then bring Mac Jones in there. But I would have liked to see Mac Jones beat him out in practice and had played some games with the first team versus, playing games with the third team and then getting in there. So, we have the saying in this industry, and this may apply to where you work as well. Did I do that? Is sometimes the part-time employee can make the full-time employees look bad. Let me say that again. Sometimes the part-time employee can make the full-time employees look bad. And that's what Bailey Zappi did. He made the full-time employee look bad when he got in there. And that's why some people are kind of like, oh, well, no, man, he's just only a part-timer, so clearly he can't be that good. But yet, when you're replacing Cam Newton, who had just won the MVP of the league within 5 years from when he was here, like 5 years before that, granted, it's 5 years, but still he was an MVP of the league. That's nothing to sneeze at. They were ready to put the part-timer in there who had actually not even clocked in any hours. And now his shoulders are like Erkel. Give it to me again, Joe. Did I do that?
Did I do that?
Yeah, what is going on? I don't want to use the word broken because broken really is a very serious term in the terms of, mental awareness. I'll use that word. Because when you say broken, that tends to say that there is a past that's affecting your future.
That guy is gone.
Yeah, see, that's why I don't want to use the word broken because, like terms of they come from a broken home or they just broke up in a relationship. This is where it's like this guy was like showing promise. Now, fractured, shattered, squirrely, scared,
but he's
nervous.
So squirrely.
Yeah. It's like Shaggy Doo in the Scooby-Doo series. Like, always spoke in that high-pitched voice because he was always nervous that there was a ghost coming. Same thing with Scooby. Huh? What? It's tough to see, and you've got the toughest part of the schedule coming for this team that it's not going to be easy at all. And then, of course, Mac had the false reality comment, which you're like, oh, my gosh, you sound like Sam Darnold. Here's Dan Orlovsky from ESPN on that comment.
Yeah, I think there's pretty good understanding of what they're trying to do to you. Like, hey, you know what? We might have thought the field safety was going to tell us a lot, but check the boundary guy out. Or when that corner's off, he's actually trying to have vision to you so we can double. Like, so you're trying to get, how they're not only playing things from a scheme point, but playing things from, like, what are guys doing, and somewhat try to gather information. Hey, we got into this formation and we gave them this action and see how the safety reacted. So if we get back to this and they give us that same look pre-snap, let's try to get to this, so that's where you're trying to gather what they're doing and then trying to build your play calls off of that. So there's a lot to that.
Yeah. I said maybe a week and a half ago, teams have already figured out how to attack the scheme. Now it's how do they attack the player? And that's why you might start hearing defensive players call out your play as you're calling it out to get in your head, to make you squirrely. Come off as Erkel. I'm calling a play. No, don't. Not that one. No. I think it's just all psychological that Mac has to tell himself. I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. And damn it, a lot of people bought my jersey last year. Look, I don't think anybody in the fan base wants to see you fail. I think why there's such an attachment to Mac Jones is because of the unemotional disassociation that Tom Brady had when he left. And the taste that was bitter in so many people's mouths. Other people's like, well, good. It was always Belichick anyway. It's good to hear all that stuff die down, and even Belichick and Tom Brady saying nice things about each other. That's called absence makes the heart grow fonder. Familiarity breeds contempt. When you've been around someone for 20 years, I just hate the way they breathe. If they just stop breathing, it could be that way. But Tom's not coming back. And I'd always said that Cam Newton was just going to be a bridge to something better. And so I understand that you would want Mac to work out, because if it doesn't work out, then yeah, maybe the fans would feel a bit broken.
Hey, going back to Mac, though, real quick, do you think the bye week is going to help his confidence, kind of reset his mind, or do you think he needs to keep going on the field?
We won't know until it's over, right? Like, you don't know how Mac Jones will respond to the bye week until the bye week is over. You just don't know. And for that, I'm not going to say that he's going to perform poorly. I wouldn't want that for him. But at the same time, when you're seeing that, you're worse at home than you are on the road, and the next game is at home, and so there might be some anticipation of kind of like, hey, you had 2 weeks. It's like when kids go on Patriots Day break, right? They might have an assignment right before they go on the break, and then they don't do the assignment at all, and they come back to school. You're like, you had a whole week to do the assignment, and you come in and you look unprepared. That would be the worst thing.